adjusting the level still. It's a problem. It's unfortunate. But you know what's not unfortunate? Having fun. And that's what we're going to do. Hey, friends. Welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Full. Gosh dang it, man. My name is Tristan Sartoris, and I'm happy to be here with you today, okay? But I am full of joy. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sick. I'm thick. And as we all know, of course, yes, I'm thick with it, but I'm also just straight sick. And it sucks, and I want to complain. And you know what? Yes. I will. I will complain. It's awful, okay? I don't care what you think you have going on in your life, what kind of troubles or trauma or freaking chaotic situations you're trying to navigate. I have a stuffy nose, okay? So my life's arguably worse. And I don't want to hear about your troubles until I'm over this hellhole of a life that I've got going on. Am I exaggerating? Absolutely not. I'm under-exaggerating. It's so much worse than I'm making it sound. But you know what, guys? I found my my freaking Van Gogh shirt, so things aren't so bad. We're on the up and up, man. I will say this. I've been plugging away, okay, at some secret special things that may or may not be going on, but by announcing them, that definitely means something's going on. And it's taking a lot more effort because, well, I'm thick, man. You know, my energy is already in the negatives, and it's hard to kind of check out the reserves from there and see what I can kind of get going. So, trying my best, trying to make things happen, and rest assured, guys, I'm not resting at all. I'm making things happen. So, we got an exciting new groove coming up, and it's going to be groovy. So, stay tuned for that, man. What's going on in my life, huh? Is that what you came here? Is that what you wanted to hear about? You clicked on this because you said, what is going on with this idiot this week? I can't wait to hear about Tristan's troubles outside of course, his phlegm. So I went to go and help my grandparents move because I'm a saint. We know this. It's fine. It's okay. This isn't news. But we all did. And, you know, my grandparents originally were going to get a whole moving company and do this whole shtick, but somebody in my family, not naming names, somebody in my family volunteered us to do it. So I spent that Saturday moving my grandparents, and you know what? I'm fine with it. Was it tiring? Was it hot out? Did I make it worse because it was 90 degrees and I wore a snow jumpsuit just because people said, it's too hot out, don't put that on? And I said, watch me. So then I wore it for an hour and a half just to prove a point. Did I make it a lot worse for myself? Sure. Okay. And were some other people sick, so there weren't a lot of people there in the first place? So it really just relied on the Sartoris boys to get it done. Was it a day? Well, sure. But you know what? That's what family's all about. Okay, and I'm nothing if not a familial guy. So get familiar with that. And it was a good time, man. It was lots of jokes, lots of, strangling and pushing and shoving. And we were there for my grandparents. But it's always nice to just be with my family. I love getting any time I can with the Sartoris boys, with the Sartoris clan, where we can just make fun of each other. It always devolves into you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly. And then we play some sort of game that involves minor athletics, and we compete to see who will win. And that's how my life's always been. And I enjoy that. To zero faults. It's just the best of times for me, okay? Because you don't get to, you grow up in a sitcom kind of life, in a full house where there's always stuff going on. There's always people to bother. There's always people to talk to and to make fun of. And so what? Siblings, right? Sibling. There should be a type of brother jewelry called a sibling. Anyways, I digress and I digest. Side note, you want another pun? If you make jokes about eating food, you could call yourself a digester. Ha! Okay, so anyways, of course, I'm sick with it. And do not be afraid of the puns that come from here. That's going to be going on a little bit. But anyways, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. We did. All right. Now, here's the thing about having siblings is that we have a lot of fun. And that doesn't sound like a problem until my grandparents' box spring and mattress can't fit through the basement corridor. So it's laying out on the lawn until we come up with a solution and how we're going to go about getting it down there, right? So fast forward to 8 seconds later, we are playing touch and go football with a bottle of wipes. They were Lysol. These are Clorox, but it's fine. And we're diving off the box truck, running from inside out, diving, one-handed catches, very athletic. Put me in cover 1, cover 2 all day, coach. I got it. Just put it up there where I can get it, and I got it, son. All right, touchdowns all days, no drops. And I wiped the floor with everybody because, like I said, again, they were freaking antibacterial wipes. But we broke the thing. Okay, this box spring was destroyed, shattered, just completely gone. And that's unfortunate because there's a bit of rough housing. I don't know how expensive this thing was. But, yeah, it was completely flattened. And that's what you get when you bring the Sartors, boys. All right? That's, I think, I don't like to help people move, but I do like to proclaim that I get one item write-off. All right? There was one thing, not that I will purposely break, but one thing will be destroyed in the sibling mischievery shenanigans that goes about. So we did exactly that, and we broke the freaking box spring, and the mattress had some grass stains. It's a whole bit of hoopla, but the point is, that's our fault, and it was a load of fun, nevertheless. However, we did, I don't know if this was going to be the solution anyway, but my dad, seeing this, he's like, oh boy. So he volunteered to cut the box spring up into pieces, and that's how we were going to get into the basement, and then he basically rebuilt it from scratch. So it's like it never even happened, although it took a little bit of extra work to hide it. Am I technically retroactively ruining the story, in case anyone asks, because I'm announcing it on the podcast? Perhaps, but if nobody checks this out, if my family's too busy getting acquainted to their new digs, they might not have time to hear me expose myself. So, anyways, lots of fun. I hope they're comfortable. Hope everything is going swell. Now, guys, before we go anywhere else, we have questions here on the podcast, okay? Questions! We haven't gotten questions in a while, but it is always a load of fun for me to answer any silly or ridiculous or perhaps deep or meaningful questions that you may have to ask me. So this comes from, I'm acting like it's on the paper, but it's not, it's on the computer. This comes from @NoneOfTheDays. 1, do you want to have kids someday? And 2, do you exclusively wear compression shorts now? Or what other styles and brands do you wear? So that is a deep question. Let's go number 1. Do I want to have kids someday? People don't usually, I thought we were going to ask for advice, but people are just asking straight up to get to know more about me. I feel seen and loved and appreciated. Thanks, guys. However, I occasionally have gotten this question, actually, and my answer every time is, my kid would just have too big of shoes to fill, and there'd be no reason. I wouldn't want to do that to him. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, if the right woman comes along, hey, you know what? By all means. I've never had like a hard and fast rule or felt like there was a line there. I'd be like, hey, man, like when you're in the dating process, hey, do you want kids? Do you not want kids? What's the deal? Is this going to work? I've never felt so hard stuck on either side of the fence. But it's kind of a weird spot to be regardless, because it's like asking if I want to have a shed on the property before I've even got the property. It's like, I don't have a house. How do I know? Okay, I don't know what kind of space, what the square footage of my home is going to be regardless. I don't know if I need a shed room. What are you talking about? So let me focus on accruing the wife. I realized in this analogy, I called the wife property. That's not what I meant. I was just saying the home, okay? And that sounds way better. But yeah, I don't know, man. I hope so. We'll see. I have no idea. It could very well get down the line, and maybe you fall in love with somebody who's not too athletic and not just, oh my gosh, the camera's cutting off, and now it says that everything just recorded before was not actually recorded videoly. So that's unfortunate, but you know what? All right, with the exciting news that's on the horizon, this may not matter, but what better time to have technical effects, or worse of times? You know what? We'll see how we see it. Anyways, to get back to what I was saying, oh, we were having so much fun. Um, yeah, it would be unfortunate, like, if you fall in love with someone who's very unathletic, it might not be fair to have kids. And hopefully my genes can carry the torch, but we'll see. I'll get to that point when I get there. And you know what? Here's the deal, okay? I'm not gonna say I'm perfect out loud. And presumably whoever I fall in love with is also going to be perfect, right? Not that I am. But part of me, you know what? This may sound awkward to say. I'm trying to be less egotistical here. I'm actually going through a 12-step program on narcissism. Actually, I was so awesome I jumped straight to step 6, but dang it, back to step 5. I'm on step 5, and I've been doing a great job, but I'm trying to be less arrogant, so you guys can tell me whether or not this is. So in the Bible, the Antichrist is a very smooth-talking, handsome, funny, charismatic kind of guy. And growing up for a little bit, as I was reading about this, again, tell me if this is egotistical to say, I was worried originally that it was me, and I had a lot of fear, and I don't know if that's wrong to say, but part of me, I was like, holy crap, I'm really good with people. I feel like I could falsely, I could lie and command a nation. I feel like I could do a lot of dirty deeds. I got to make sure my heart stays clean, because how easily, like Anakin Skywalker, I could be swayed. I mean, I like to think my morals are concrete and aligned, but God forbid, please, literally, God forbid, I accidentally go to the dark side because my wife dies. So I'm trying to stand clear, and you know what? Because I went through that whole hurdle of worrying if I was, I think I'd be even more afraid of my own child becoming. But you know what? With the proper mentorship, maybe a small green puppet named Yoda, things might go okay for me. We'll see. Now, your other question, I'm sorry if I'm, like, all the technical difficulties kind of threw me off. So sorry if my question answering hasn't been perfect, but I appreciate your questions nonetheless. Make sure I say that. You said, do you exclusively wear compression shorts now, and what other styles or brands do you wear? Never did I think people would ask about my underwear as much as they do here on the podcast. And maybe I'll just start saying they're filled with skid marks. They're not, but I wonder if people would still be like, I'm curious. But I do exclusively wear compression shorts. Look, take the wedgies out of it, okay? You're not getting a wedgie as an adult unless you ask for it. But you do get natural occurring wedgies, okay? These ones, just by the grace of the devil himself, your walk and your clothes just find their way right in. So compression shorts, what they do is it forms a natural curvature over the butt cheeks that nothing kind of wedges in there. And compression shorts, they're underrated in a lot of ways, okay? Don't just use them for athletics or when you're going to play some basketball on the court. Like, they're phenomenal, okay? They're great. Granted, if you smell bad whatsoever, there's not a lot of density in the fabric that's blocking scent out. So you need to be on top of your hygiene game at all times. But they're phenomenal brands. I just do Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour. But, any one of those, they're all the same. You wear them. Eventually, they rip, they break. You get new ones. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope that answers your question. It helps. They're great. You feel like you can do a backflip, even if you can. Just by the idea of wearing compression shorts, you think you can, and that's that's kind of half the battle. If you want to do backflip, thinking you can do a backflip is really the number one step in doing that. Take that from someone who's landed on their face. So anyways, thank you so much for the question at None of the Days. I'm sorry that all the humbo, jumbo, wumbo, macumbo, I'm trying to make up words and none of them are sticking. Hopefully some of those landed for you. Not the words, but the answers. But I do very much thank you for submitting to the show, and hopefully you got some sort of advice, or I provided some sort of answers, and who knows whether or not the visuals for this cuts off now. We'll see, right? We're all just flying by the seat of our pants, which includes compression shorts. So, anyways, you guys can submit your questions for the next episode or any episode at fullcircuspodcast@gmail.com, and you can send them anywhere you want, really, and I will get to that as soon as possible. So, anyways, guys, going back to how my day has been, man, and what's going on with me. I had a funny little run-in. It wasn't long. It was just a little blip in time. I went to go get some pretzels, just pretzel sticks. We were working on some cars and doing some bit, and we're a pretzel stick family, okay? Some people are a pudding family, some people are a chips and dip family, but we're a pretzel stick family. Whether it's road trips or just up and about, there's something about the pretzel stick that is magical. It's like a wand covered in salt, and it's so much fun. So I was going to get some pretzel sticks. It's a long way to say that I was walking into a store, right? And you know when you're walking out of a store and you can see through, because it's glass, that someone else is also coming to the door, so you're kind of at the same pace and you don't know whether or not you're both going to grab for the handle at the same time, whether I should push it into them as they're trying to pull it. I decided to kind of slow my pace down and let them open the door for me because, again, I can't say it because of my whole egotistical thing I'm saying, but pretty prevalent, okay. But I let them open the door for me, right? So I slow down, and this lady, kind old lady and her friend, she opens the door wide open for me, and I grace myself through. And, of course, I think about high-fiving her. I don't. But I say, thank you so much, and I skip away to my car holding my bags. However, as I round the corner, like right as I walk past this door, I hear her say to her friend, I wasn't opening the door for him. Oh! I stole somebody's door opening. And I don't know if I'm supposed to feel bad about that, but I also laughed, like as I was walking back to the car, like the idea that someone's like, all right, we're just going to open the door. We see him coming, but it looks like he's slowing down, so maybe he's going to let us older ladies just go into the store because obviously we're opening the door for us. Surely this young, spry, handsome stud, as beautiful as he is, isn't going to take the lane. And that's exactly what I did in her mind. I'm like, oh, thank you, ladies. I'll grace myself to the parking lot, why don't I? And I walked right through him. I wasn't opening the door for him. And I didn't yell back sorry, but I didn't want to make the situation more awkward than it was. Also, I was laughing, so I felt like it would be weird to turn around. But it's a little blip in time that makes me so happy to live on planet Earth where I can run into situations like that. And I don't know, maybe I should have opened the door, but like when you're coming from the inside, like am I supposed to just bop through them? I don't know. Now, granted, there were two doors, and I could have just went out the other one. Instead, I'm like, oh, here comes door opens mine, and I hit the hole like a running back because you like a athlete. But I graced myself, and hopefully they're not too upset. But that was a funny little blip in my life that happened today. Pretzel sticks, thank you. They were out, by the way. So that was a lot of fun for me. And dude, live life, okay? There's so much beauty and sparkle. There's so much magic in life. If you just look around and insert yourself into enough awkward moments, you have no idea what you'll find, guys. You really don't. So do that. Walk through all the doors you can and see what you find. It just makes me happy. And I can't really explain how great that makes me feel, and maybe that makes me a bad person. That I'm like, I stole the way, I got it, because it's not a big deal, really. But it was to me, the fact that I wasn't doing. What's the matter with him? So all they know is, again, a handsome, tall, olive-skinned, beautiful stud of an athlete just saw the door and got out. And granted, he was talented and he was funny, and they noticed that, and the charm was oozing. They thought, could he be the Antichrist? But he's like, no, his spirit's too freaking pure for that. But they thought it because there was a certain perfectionism that I guess I radiate. I don't know. People say it, not me, because I'm in a program. I can't. But if I had to, I would have someone else come and explain. But I won't right now. It's for another time. Hopefully I get better, guys. That's back to step 4 for that one. That's too much. I hope this is recording. I have no idea. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've been fooling with all the new technical aspects that's going into it that things be breaking, okay? And I'm crossing wires and not dotting the I's or crossing the T's. So, anyways, guys. That's kind of everything I had to talk about in terms of I've been sick, things have been going well, answer some questions. I will say that an interesting thing has been happening to me where I've been getting calls and I haven't been picking them up because I don't respond to strangers. But really the reason I didn't do it is because it said prison. I got calls from a prison and I didn't think that was true. Okay. I thought maybe it's some sort of scam call or something. And then sure enough, I listened to the voicemail and it says, hey, you are receiving an outgoing call from a female prison. An all-female prison. Whoops, dropped my pencil. Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. 3 different times I received a call from a female prison. And I didn't pick up and I didn't call back. And maybe that's my fault, but I don't support female prisoners. It sounds like I only support the male prisoners. I'm going to be honest with you. Female prisoners, you guys, you're just on a whole. I'm so misogynistic when it comes to crime, guys. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I laughed again at the fact that my voicemail is Rick Astley. Is that his name, right? Well, the Rick roll. Never going to give you up. So imagine they give you your one call and you're detained or something, and maybe you just dial the wrong number. And you're, we're no strangers to love. You're like, this isn't my mom. Can I get a redo? And then I'm laughing at it. Gotcha. Seriously, leave a message at the tone. So it made me laugh that people were maybe at their last string of hope and they were just getting rickrolled right and left and right, up and down, forward and back, A-B, left, right, start, by my voicemail. And that's hilarious to me. I did try to call back. They didn't pick up, but it's very strange, man. It's very strange. I say this a lot, guys, and this is it misogynistic? What is it when you put down men in favor of women? I don't know what that is. But I was going to say, every time you see a story in the news, it's always about a dude. Like, guys are famously awful people in terms of crime. And it's just weird to think that there's a whole prison full of females, And I don't want to, I'm not treating you guys like Bigfoot, okay? I'm not trying to say that women can't be as awful as men. Okay, you can, all right? I feel like I'm putting myself in a weird hole when I don't even know am I digging myself deeper or out? I don't know where I'm going. Women suck, but now I feel like I'm back on that joking misogynistic thing. Where do I want to be? Guys, thanks for tuning in. No, it's interesting to think that there's a whole freaking prison of them, because maybe they don't report it in the news, or maybe I'm checking out the wrong news because I'm mostly just looking at my fantasy football scores, but you don't see a lot of it. So maybe it's like a shed, or like how many people, this is a question for the chat, how many people does it take to fill up a female prison? The world may never know. How many people, what is the square footage of a female prison versus a male prison? Because I feel like it'd be a waste of space otherwise to build them the same. Again, not that female prisons aren't great at crime as well, but you don't ever hear about a female serial killer. Let's be honest, all right? Name one. 5 seconds. Go. 3, 4. You didn't come up with anything. You know why? Because men suck. You know what? I asked you for a female serial killer, and you know who you came up with? You went Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper, none of which are female. Okay, so you lose, and you also gave me wrong answers. Do better next time. I will be quizzing you every week from here on out until you come up with a proper, horrible woman. I'm not saying women are great. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they're not. Guys, I feel like I'm just trashing everybody, and all I'm trying to do is build people up. But I don't know where. I think my brain's too far gone. I don't know where. I don't know what to do. Yeah, so female prisons. There was nothing else there. I feel bad, but also hilarious. And if you guys get a female prison call, let me know. And maybe respond to it, because I feel like I did miss out. But it's just kind of, you know what? I'm for everybody, okay? And sure enough, I didn't pick up. Now I feel like it would be wrong, because if I ignored the female prisoner's call, and then the second a guy prisoner calls me, I'm like, yo, dude, what's up? You need help? I'm there for you. I feel like that would be wrong. But two wrongs don't make a right, so I will be there for the men who need me in the future. Women, you had your chance, but you blew it because I didn't pick up. And guys, I think that's all I have to talk about. I don't know if any of it made sense. I hope I answered all the questions. I don't know if any of this is recording, honestly, and maybe that's why I'm so loopy, because part of me doesn't want to waste the gold. Trust me, I have a lot of bangers just ready to go. That can fire off at any time. Just freaking, you could pan it out of a river and be like, oh, was that a Tristan joke right there? Gold. But I'm not going to fire them off, because I'm afraid that no one's going to hear this. I'm afraid that no one's going to see this. And I'm afraid that my hair wasn't done as well as I wanted it to, because it was still wet when I put the headphones on. But that's besides the point, in the story for another day. Guys, if this is the last time you are seeing me here at this set, which would be very unfortunate if it's not recorded at all, thank you. And let's enjoy the time that we've had here. We've had so much fun. Throw kisses, air kisses, but don't slobber, you sicko. And we embrace and we throw Grace. Oh, that was an old lady named Grace getting thrown. Dude, I love being insane. Yes, guys, if this is the last time, no surprises, no spoiler alerts on what's going on. But if this is the last time you see me, whatever. Say your piece. Make sure I'm just giving you the chance to say goodbye. It's like when your parents, like you've had a dog for a while, and they're like, hey, look, I'm not saying this is the last time you'll see old buddy here, but if it is, and there's a new dog coming, just make sure you have a really good, last few days with him. But hey, the new puppy, which may or may not be coming, could be a very good one. So yeah, guys, say your piece, speak your piece, so you don't got to keep your piece, capiche? And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I love you, two pieces. This is always a blessing for anybody who tunes in to the ramblings of a madman. And this is especially the case whenever I'm sick, because none of it makes sense. And as we always say, you can never make sense if you don't make change, and I don't have any cash. I only use card, so we're never gonna make sense. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. I'll see you in the next episode. Foreshadowing, something cool is coming. It might not, which would be hilarious for the whole last 8 minutes where I've said nothing. So thank you. I'll see you there. All right, we gotta go.